I worry if you don't have time to get all the news. No one has all the time. Ooh. August 3rd, video game news. Behavior Interactive, these are the fine folks who create the great Dead by Daylight. They say, hey, here's a new game, fuckers. It's called Meet Your Maker. They're very rude of it. Meet Your Maker. Kind of interesting. I don't know how it's going to work, though. Let me fucking show you this while we're talking. Jesus, potty mouth much. You got two modes, a build mode and you've got raid mode. You have a sandbox with all kinds of traps and abilities, and it's very much like Fortnite Warhawk, and you're protecting this genetic material. Somebody wants to steal it from you. And then you can also team up with a buddy and raid these bases. Here you go. You see them building right there, kind of Minecraftian. It's kind of tower defense-y too, where you can place enemies and shit. And if you raid it, it's the first-person shooter. It's co-op first-person shooter. You go in trying to deal with all the monsters and all the traps. It's kind of cool at a conceptual level. Looks like you got a little grappling hook action there. It's kind of cool at a conceptual level, but I'll tell you something, making levels that are compelling and fun is really fucking hard. And according to the website, every single level you will play, it's for gamers by the gamers who made this fucking game. It's not like they launched the campaign with like 50 levels in a story mode professionally made. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be people trying to make it super fucking hard and fuck with you and troll you. And how can this team guarantee a quality experience? I don't fucking know. They're not idiots, obviously. I'm sure this is something they've tried to figure out. Maybe they have figured it out. If you get the genetic material, by the way, you take it back to your base, and then you can trick out your base, get more toys to create the actual bases that you want to use to protect your genetic material from raiders. Comes out 2023. It's called Meet Your Maker. It is interesting. I don't know how they're going to balance it. I don't know how they're going to make it compelling from start to finish. They also announced, this is also coming from Behavior, they had a little bit of a showcase. That's what we like to call it in the biz. We like to call it a showcase. This is weird, but I like it. It's called Hooked on You. You know Dead by Daylight, the game that made him famous, put him on the map, Behavior Interactive? Well, there's a dating sim, Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating sim. What this is you go to an island, and the four main Dead by Daylight characters that the Behavior folks created and own, you'll be trying to romance them. You'll be playing mini games, little puzzles, chat conversations. It's kind of a dating sim. You know what this shit is. But it's with serial killers and slashers. How can you not love it? Who will you romance? Well, you have four choices, friends. You could try to romance the Huntress. Va 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 voom. You could set your romantic sights on the Spirit. Now that I'm looking at the Spirit and the Huntress, I think I'll take the Spirit, please. One Spirit for a little sexy time, please. If you fancy a little bit of penis in your diet, you can go after the Trapper, see if you guys can fall in love. I wonder who takes the last name. Is his name V and Trapper? So if I was of the persuasion and got with this guy and married him, I would be David Trapper? Or does the killer Trapper Jaffe? V Jaffe. I don't know. I don't understand. The Wraith is the other character. So Trapper, Huntress, Wraith, and Spirit are the various characters you can chase after, trying to make sexy time work for you. You got your conversation games, kind of like I said. This is the Wraith. He brushes up against you, and you realize he hasn't taken off his shit. Should you do it for him? And then you can choose, hands off, Buster, not my cup of tea. Or you can gently take off his shit. Right? But there's like little mini games, like spin the bottle and put I don't know what is happening in this one. Slice. It's a slice. There's a big showcase coming up in about 8 days. I will be live streaming at THQ Nordic, which you may know by their new name, Embracer, which is really one of the most interesting game publishers out there. A couple of reasons. Number one, they just bought the American companies from Square Enix. So they have Tomb Raider now, Deus Ex, Soul Reaver. They own Gearbox. They own the guys who make Wreckfest, SpongeBob SquarePants video games, Destroy All Humans. Saints Row is theirs, which is coming out in a couple of weeks. The new Saints Row. Kingdom of Amalur. Amalur. Where are you going? Come on. Goat Sim, Valheim, Hot Wheels Unleashed, Darksiders, and they've done some. The Darksiders Genesis is fucking awesome. Evil Dead, the amazing Sniper 5, or the whole Sniper series, but 5 just came out, which is awesome. Of course, they have Borderlands and all that comes with Gearbox. 3D Realms, which gives them Duke Nukem. Like, these guys have a crap ton of IP they own. They so far live and breathe in the AA, low AAA space, which honestly, I like those games more. They can take a little bit more chance stances. They can be a little bit more creative. It's a little bit more freewheeling in terms of the design. So they got a lot of talent, the right budgets, and they have these IP that are beloved by more than niche, but certainly not mega mainstream unless you count a couple of them like Borderlands, Tomb Raider. Very interesting company. Well, they're going to do their showcase in about 8 days. I will be streaming it. I am very excited for it. They'll be showing new games, updates on games they've already announced. For example, Jagged Alliance 3 apparently is going to get showcased there. They'll be featuring games that expand the company's portfolio into new genres with both licensed and original gaming experiences. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do, but I'm interested. I'm showing up. You got yourself the PlayStation Plus, do you? Well, if you have Extra or Premium, which are the second and top tier, you already got your big goodie for the month. It's Stray, that came out day one. But PlayStation Plus across the board, today those games have gone live. You get Little Nightmares, the PS4 version, Yakuza Like a Dragon. The one I'm most excited about, because I haven't played it here, it's great. Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remasters, remakes, whatever they called it, is out now and live, and you can get that today. I want you to listen and listen good, you whippersnapper. I like it when we talk like that amongst ourselves, because it makes our relationship strong. So when I call you and I need you for nefarious reasons, Bungie General Counsel, legal folks, they say, hey, we're going to start taking legal action against harassers because it's good business. I agree with this. You cannot police the internet in real time. People have VPNs. A lot of these companies don't want to take the time and effort going after specific ISPs. No matter what people try, there's always just these dickish trolls, and they're there. They're not going anywhere. Their dad left them. They're being raised by their mom. They have no self-esteem. Who the fuck knows what's wrong with them? But they're morons, and I don't like them. Bungie's like, hey, fuck you. We're going to use what we can to stop them from harassing our people and from messing up the in-game communities. We're going to fucking use lawsuits, because that'll work. And we have the resources, and we have the time, and we have the talent. We're going after these fucks. They already sued 3 companies for selling Destiny cheats. They said, hey, you're using our screenshots for selling your shit, and you're digging into the code in order to make your shit work. So you know what? Fuck you. Here's a lawsuit. Stick it up your tushy butthole. They're also going after people who harass their employees, because I think ultimately that's the only way it's going to work. So be wary. Don McGowan has shown up to the old West, and Allen is here, and he ain't taking shit, man. He is coming after you, and he should. Fuck you. You know what this is? This is 12 things that'll get you kicked out of Disneyland. Why am I telling you that? Because these are businesses. These are 3, 4, 500 million plus when you add all the live service shit over the years that people spend to make these games. At a real life company, they do this. They don't let you do whatever the fuck you want, and it's trickling into digital. It's like, look, running around World of Warcraft, running around Destiny is no different in terms of what they're selling, a walled garden experience that they want to make sure that people have a great time in. It's the virtual version of what they do in Disneyland. They can't necessarily throw you out because they miss a lot of people because they're not watching everybody in real time. But at Disneyland, you can't hit a character, you can't harass a cast member, public indecency, inappropriate gestures. I like selfie sticks are also get you kicked out. You get off the ride and start walking around the ride. If you cut in line, all those are like, I don't give a fuck what you paid to get in. You signed the terms of service, go fuck yourself, you're out. I love this. I'm glad Bungie's doing this. I hope more companies follow suit. This is ridiculous that people have gotten away with it for as long as they have. Reports been dropping the last couple days about earnings calls for the quarter. Okay, fine. Sony's down with engagement and money. Xbox is down, although Game Pass seems to be growing a little bit. Nintendo is down. Cell phone games are down. A lot of it's the same shit. It's the pandemic is ending, quote, ending. People are getting back to normal life. Less time for playing, less desire for playing. They want to get outside. The other one is obviously the chip shortage. So it's whatever. The only 2 ones that are really interesting to me, or the news that came out of this, the first one is EA. EA is up. Yeah, they tried to walk back their PR snafu about single player games. They'll always be important. Was it Frank Wilson, the CEO? He's like, no, we're always Andrew Wilson. It's not like a president. Andrew Wilson, president. And he says, no, we're all into single player games. Don't worry about that. But end of the day, what his CFO said at the end of the earnings call was more important. He says, over 70% of our business is live services. It's been proven, it's reliable, it's highly recurring, and that will still be the predominant driver of our profit and loss long term. I'm glad EA is making single player games. But let's fucking be clear. This is where it's going. This is where it's been going. They're one of the few companies that are up this quarter. So you can say you don't like it. You can say you hate it. Maybe you do. There's a lot of people out there that are more than fine with it. And so they're going to keep doing it. Support your Double A, folks, support your indie games. That's where you're going to have to be playing sooner than later for the most part. Not entirely, but for the most part, you know it's true. I'm just the messenger. I'm not making this shit. I'm not creating it. I'm not willing it into existence. I'm just telling you. I'm like, hey, I'm the guy at the gas station in the horror movies where the teens pull up and I'm like, don't go into that, thing. And they go into the thing and they die. I'm like, don't fucking blame me. I didn't kill you. Except in the Texas Chainsaw. In that, the people at the gas station. Nintendo wants you to know that this is what's on their slate for the rest of the year. Kirby's Dream Buffet, Splatoon 3, Bayonetta 3, Pokemon Scarlet Violet is 2022. Speaking of Kirby, they said Kirby and the Forgotten Lands have sold 1.8 million copies. I still need to play it. I hear it's great in the quarter. So cumulatively, they're at 4.5 million sold through. They're saying that Kirby is the best-selling Kirby to date, outselling Kirby Star Allies and Kirby Triple Deluxe. This is pretty interesting. 4 million. Let's see how high it goes. Christmas is coming up. Great reviews, great word of mouth. I wonder if Kirby is poised. I mean, it's got to do more than 4 million. But if this thing keeps selling, it may be time for, at least in the West, for Kirby to take more of the spotlight than he ever has before. They also want you to know, the Nintendo folks, they say, hey, coming out after 2022, we have Breath of the Wild 2, of course, Metroid Prime 4, and then Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. That's the one I'm really looking forward to. This footage of it from February of this year. Supposed to come out in April. So it looks like it's done. Remember they said they delayed it because of world events when Russia invaded Ukraine like a bunch of fucking stupid fucking thug asshole prick war criminals they are. Maybe they're just still like, look, let's just move it to next year, not give it a date yet. Or maybe they're like, yes, we could give it a date, but it's competing with too many other games now. I don't fucking know, but I'm very much eager. I'm very excited to play Advance Wars. I've never played a mainline Pokemon game. The only Pokemon game I ever played was like a pinball game that came with a little rumble pack on GBA or GB or whatever. I'm 51. I missed the craze. I was well into adulthood when this thing came out and was ruling grammar school playgrounds and shit. But it's gotten so cool looking now that it's gone full 3D, and I like the art and the cell shading. Every new release, I get closer and closer to trying it. And then they said today, hello, I'm Sean Connor. The mind, this is what a cell in the brain looks like when it's trying to make connections to other cells. Mine must just be like, here is a cell, and here's the connection it should make. And then mine is just like, hey, what's over there? It's like, dude, they showed this off today, and now they have bikes. They have Pokemon that you can ride around in the goddamn game. So now, yeah, we'll be doing this. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Come on now. You can get on these fucking things. You can ride them around as motorcycles, and they move their legs. I don't really quite know how it works. They can ride up buildings. Oh my God, it's Connecticut. Or not buildings, but mountains. They can fly, and this is the piece de resistance. Come on now. They can become boats. They fly now. They can become boats. I'll be trying this out. This is coming out November 18th. I need to finish God of War, which is the 9th, I think. So I don't know if I'll be done with it because I'm a slow gamer, but this is on my holiday to playlist. The last thing about Nintendo that they revealed in their earnings call, what am I looking over here? They said, hey, here are the best-selling Switch games of all time. Ring Fit Adventure, 14 million. Pokemon Let's Go, 14 million. Pokemon Diamond Pearl, 15 million. Super Mario Party, it did better than I thought it would. I gotta go play that game. I've only played it. I love it. 18 million. Mario Odyssey, 24 million. Sword Shield Pokemon, 25 million. Breath of the Wild, 27 million. Smash Bros, 28, 29 million. Then we pop up. Animal Crossing New Horizons, 40 million. And then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the beast that is the beast, 47 million copies. Blue Dragon comes out today with the news. He says, hey, Diablo 4, you looking forward to Diablo 4? Right? He says, that is in friends and family beta right now. He says the word on the street from the people he's hearing, they've all signed NDAs, of course. He says, though, hey, the buzz is mostly pretty fucking positive. He also says there are no microtransactions to be seen in this game at the moment, but that, of course, is because it's a beta and it's early, or it's actually probably not even at a beta, it's alpha level. But Square has nothing to do with this game. Blizzard, who makes the game, came out and said a while ago that the only microtransactions will be cosmetic, very inexpensive, and then the bigger expenses will be single player add-on content, which I'm totally down for. Speaking of Diablo, Diablo Immortal has made over $100 million since it launched. That's great, not amazing, given cell phone games what they can do, but it's fucking great. I think it just launched in China. I'm sure that will give it a nice accelerant. They've come out with their roadmap. They say, hey, every 2 weeks we're launching new content for this game. Small stuff, battle pass stuff, cosmetics, and then we'll be launching big events and big stuff, including more single player stuff. I only play the single player or co-op. I understand this game has gotten a shit rap, and maybe it's an earn rap for the microtransactions, but that's PvP shit. Yeah, if you're into that, I feel for you. I would never want to pay to win. But Mike Ibarra, who runs Blizzard, said to the LA Times a few months ago, we talked about this on the stream earlier, he's like, what are you complaining about? You're getting a top quality, granted the graphics are mobile phone graphics, but it still looks good even on my PC. You're getting a top quality Diablo game. It's free. You can play it with your friends, and he's not wrong. It's really, really good. $100 million in 4 months. It's clearly found an audience, but I hope the people who have stayed away because the hyperbole, which I think is what it is, unless you're talking purely PvP, and I wish the press would have made that very, very, very clear. I hope the people who stayed away for that are looking for more, hey, I just want to play Diablo with my friends, give it a look. It's fucking free, and it's really good. Now, you know, I mean, this is called this is called War Gods. Zeus of Child. That's what it's called. And you play as Kratos. You can get it on the Xbox Game Store for $4.09. It's the 9 that makes it art. It's Kratos, and he's fighting a bunch of Nemesis characters from Resident Evil. This is the actual description written on the Xbox site. War God Zeus of Child is a great war game. Destroy all enemies and creatures with the Zeus War Gods of Challenge. Kill them all with your gun. Look at that. Here it is. I mean, this is a guy, I think his name is Red Beret, who's streaming it. Apparently there's no sound at all to this game. Right. The Xbox Eurogamer reported this. They're suggesting that the reason it's still, hey, you got to jump. They're suggesting the reason that Xbox still has this up is it was done through like the Xbox Creator Program and it kind of slipped through the cracks. I can't imagine it'll be up much longer. And what I wonder about is the guys who made it, like, there's a team here. The guy who ripped it off, I wonder if when they pull this, either because Xbox does or Sony says, hey, fucking pull this shit, bitch. I wonder if all the money they've made so far off this game gets refunded. If this guy ended up clearing 60, 70 grand in the course of a couple of days, I don't know what he would make, but let's just say 60, 70 grand in the course of a couple of days, he must have known it was going to be removed, but he took the money and ran, or does Xbox go like, look, we don't pay till 30 days after or every month, and so go fuck yourself. You're not getting any of it. We're giving refunds to everyone. I don't know. I'm curious about that. But right now, as far as I know, this is still up on the store as of this recording. My guess is by the end of the afternoon today, August 3rd, this thing will be harder to find than a creative, innovative idea at Ubisoft. Last thing I want to tell you, Apple Arcade continues to be a really good fucking deal. $4, $4.95 a month. You get a bunch of fucking games. There's no microtransactions. There's no ads. They've announced their 4 games for this month. 2 of them are kind of updates of old games, but there's some new stuff on there worth talking about. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but I love Bomberman. This is called Amazing Bomberman. It mixes traditional Bomberman gameplay, I assume it's online, with a rhythm game. So as you can see, the actual walls are dropping to the beat. I don't know if it shows you where they're going to drop. I guess it drops. I don't even know what it fucking does. It looks interesting. It's Bomberman. I'm in. I'll give it a play. It's on Apple Arcade. The other one is really interesting to me. So I had a first-gen iPhone, and my kids were gaming on it all the time. So it was like Cut the Rope, Fruit Ninja, and Doodle Jump, Angry Birds. The fascinating thing to me is this nostalgia. A lot of little kids who grew up with those games are now becoming young adults. In the same way we have nostalgia for Bionic Commando or Super Mario World or Adventure or Combat or whatever, it's bizarre to think that a lot of these kids coming up's nostalgia is not going to be core console gaming things like that. It's going to be shit like this. Jetpack Joyride. Jetpack Joyride 2 was announced. It's coming out this month over on Apple Arcade. It looks pretty much just like Jetpack Joyride. It doesn't look like it's not 3D now, and it's POV, and it's just Jetpack Joyride, which, brands on cell phone unless they come from other places like a movie license or a TV license. It's harder and harder to make brands work that launched on a cell phone. Like Angry Birds is nothing to most people now. I don't think Jetpack Joyride the world has been waiting with bated breath for, but it's Apple Arcade. I don't have to pay anything for it. There's no microtransactions. I really did enjoy the first one. So I'll probably play it for 10 minutes, but I can't imagine based on this, I'll play it for more. That's coming out. And it may be great though. I mean, again, Apple Arcade really does do a lot to put quality shit on their service. If you have an iPhone or if you have Apple TV, you can play these games directly on your TV. It's good stuff. Look at that. Look at that. That's the new. Do you need more news? No. Let me do this. Let me go to Twitter. Let's make sure before I leave you for the day that there's no breaking news that you're going to want to hear about, because that can happen. That can happen. Let's see. Anything that we didn't cover. EA, whatever. We talked about them. We talked about their profits being up because of microtransactions. Talked about mobile games declining. Here's Gotham Knights outfits you can get for your characters. They're cool looking. It's not enough to make me want to buy the game after I've seen it. Those are great though. Great art though. I love those. I love those characters. These are, ooh. Hey, it's the first thing I've seen from fucking Gotham Knights that makes me actually interested. Doesn't mean I'm going to pay 70 fucking bucks for the game after I saw it the first 15 minutes, but as costumes go, I love this one. I love this Batgirl. These are pretty fucking cool. 11 different suit styles in Gotham Knights at launch, 44 individual suits in total. Warner's has reiterated there will be no microtransactions in the game, although Beyond and Nightwatch sets are currently tied to deluxe and collector's editions. So my understanding is that these are costumes that you can actually get via, look at these, you can actually get via, just playing, which is great. And like I said in my sort of preview of the preview, the combat does look like fun. I know a lot of the hardcore Arkham guys are like, no, it doesn't have counters, and maybe it isn't fun. Look at that one for Robin. That's awesome. But if the combat is fun, I'll totally play it, even though I think all the other stuff looks terrible. Yeah, Robin looks cool there. I love that traditional Robin outfit. Yeah, so that's pretty fucking cool. So there you go. That's the fast news of the day. Like I said, do you really need a bunch of fucking people sitting around? Now, I mean, look, I'll be doing a Gabbing Games Live tomorrow where we're diving deep into more interesting subjects and debating and discussing and things. But this is the news. You need the news. You can't walk into a GameStop. You can't walk into a sorority house when all the girls invite you and say, come over, and you don't know what's happening with the latest earnings calls from EA and Nintendo. You can't do that. But do you need it delivered with, you know, surrounded by, well, I gotta tell you this, yesterday I was playing now my brain has gotten tired and I'm bored of talking.